I just got back from another round of grocery shopping, and you know, we're supposed to clean up our clothes and get it washed, right? So I was like, why do I waste it? Why don't I just go for a car wash as well? You know, everybody is like saying, how I wish the hairdresser or the barber or the stylist is open so that I can cut my hair. In my mind, it's like how I wish auto detailer is open so I can bring my car over. Now guys, this tinting that I got from auto detailer is extremely good, and so I spoke to him and said, why don't we work together, and maybe you can offer a much basically a discounted package for Evo Club members, right? So that any Evo Club members who are buying cars or thinking of buying cars, I'm saying used cars now, right? Can actually get this tint that I'm using. It's called Ceralux on my car because I think it's rather good, and there is zero interference with my condo cart and all that, so I pretty like it. So I kind of like it, and yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. So if you guys are interested, maybe we can do something with Auto Detailer. They are the exclusive distributor for this Ceralux tint from US, and it's one of those very new generation tint. Alright, he showed me the chart. So far it has the highest heat rejection, TSER, and then I like the visibility. There's no, slight distortion. Certain tints would have that, and in terms of performance degradation, they have a very, very strong warranty against it. So yeah, if you're keen, we're in the midst of discussion. So I'm always finding ways to do this kind of values for our Evo Club members. Let's say the extended warranty, right? You buy through Evo Club, is 20% cheaper. If you get this tint through Evo Club, it will be 10% cheaper. So I'm trying my best to tell them, hey, we are grouping a lot of people together and we're going to reduce the price, hope for them. So hope you can do this as well. And I think any vendors who are interested can actually contact us, because I think you want a bunch of business, and I think our readers want, through Evo Club, some benefits as well. So these are the things that I constantly work and finding, nice products, let's do this. Great products, let's do this. So yep. And apart from that, he also mentioned to me that they have this biodegradable, eco-friendly in-car sanitization. You see, a lot of in-car sanitization, they're using bleach agents and all that. Those are, yes, it kills bacteria, it kills viruses, but it's harmful to your skin. So what Auto Detailer has is something that is eco-friendly, something that is not harmful to your skin, and then it is also proven to kill 99.99% of viruses and bacteria and all that. So these are the things that we've been working out. And so what, of course now they are closed, they're not open now, but when we push it out, if you guys are keen, go into Evo Club, you can book your slot. So once MCO is over, you can get your car over there, and then all these programs can help you to basically sanitize your car, get your car, because so many people coming to us for car buying advice, right? Whether you're buying a used or buying a new, you can go to Auto Detailer and get this really high quality tint that he's offering at a very good price for Evo Club members. Alright? Yep, now time for me to wash my car. Even though it's gonna rain, nothing to do, right? Cheers. Now, before I start washing the car, someone asked me, Bobby, can you show me every single button in your Aston Martin? Yeah, that's a weird request, but something that I wouldn't mind indulging, because I myself might find some new buttons as well. Alright, these are the window switches. The funny thing is, it looks exactly the same as this, but this is metal, this is plastic. Okay, you can tell from the feel of it. And yeah, very straightforward. To adjust the left side mirror, press this and then you adjust, press this, adjust, and then yeah. I believe these switches came from some Ford Volvo era parts bin, I believe so. Alright, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buttons over here, and then over here we can find the light control switches. The whole panel is plastic as well. Doesn't feel Aston Martin quality. I'm sure it's from some of the Ford Volvo parts bin as well. There are no buttons over here, but the funny thing is this looks like plastic, but it's actually metal. damn weird. Alright, there are no seat controls over here on an Aston Martin because the seat controls are over here. And over here, all these buttons are metal. Alright, they are single piece metal buttons. All these, the toggle switches, this is the usual Aston Martin quality. Okay, as for the steering wheel, we have the phone reception, reject, volume up down. This is actually not that easy to press. You need hand-eye coordination because there's no ridges or shapes to it. And yeah, and here will be the cruise control, you know, set, reset, cancel, plus minus, very straightforward. No other controls over here. A very clean steering wheel. Okay, let's close the door. And then at the back here you have the paddle shifters. These are aluminium solid paddle shifters with leather lining, so it feels very high quality. And then right after it, this stock, the signal stock over here and the wiper stock over here are the single cheapest thing you can find in an Aston Martin. I can tell you, even if you come from a Proton Perodua, you will find this stock extremely cheap in terms of operation and its feel. I believe, again, it is from the Ford parts bin. Alright, the sensation of touching them, putting them in place, reminds you of some cut price A segment really cheap car. Alright, so this is very bad. It's not just bad, it's extremely bad. The feel of every time I touch it, I feel like I want to just break it. Or I mean, I don't mean it feels like it's gonna break. I mean I want to purposely break it out of here because it's just annoying to touch something so cheap in a car like this where everything else is so nicely finished. Okay, if I can, I would want to take out this entire thing and go and find some 3D printer or whatever, print another piece that is using metal or something and then slot it back because it's so horrible. Alright, sorry, spent too much time on that. Over at the center console, the fascia, let's go through it a little bit. P, R and D, as you can see on an Aston Martin, there are no gear levers. So that day there is a challenge, and in Evo Club group on Facebook, everybody is posting their gear lever. I feel sad because I don't have one. And then I pull a joke on myself. I said, if this is the face of our dashboard and the gear lever is our dick, then I have a dick face. Alright. Anyway, the Rapide, when it first came out, these 4 buttons are plastic black color buttons. Okay, they look somewhat like this. Alright, but in the Rapide S, they turn it to the same glass material. So these are made of glass now, very high quality, and the rim are actually metal rims around it, so it feels great. So it has the same type of touch sensation as this material, alright, which is the key, which is made of crystal. Alright, aircon vents are here. This is piano black, but it's not your plastic piano black in your C-Class. This is made of wood. So piano black started off from our piano, right, where the wood goes through so many layers of black paint, lacquer and all that, that you can't see the wood grain anymore. It looks really nice, really high quality. And I think the Aston Martin pre-facelift version, basically when they went into Rapide S, they're still using this dashboard, which I like. After that, they facelifted to the touch sensitive one. The touch sensitive one, I do not like it because it's one piece of touch sensitive plastic instead of these metal buttons, every single one of these metal buttons. And then they took away the clock, which I really like. Alright, so this is, I wanted the Rapide S with the old dashboard, which I got, so I'm very happy with that. Yeah, so every single knob here that you see, this knob, this button, this knob, they all feel cold to the touch because these are milled aluminum knobs and buttons, every single one of them. You'll be wondering what is T1, T2. You see, when they design this, right, they want it to be symmetrical and they don't care whether it makes sense or not. So T1, T2 is actually, when you press this, it changes your trip. Trip 1, trip 2. Yeah, I kid you not, it's not over here but over here. It took me some time to realize it. And then this turns on and off the infotainment system. And then the volume is this as well, but there's no indication, you have to learn it yourself. And it took me 2 weeks to find where is next and previous. Then I realized it's actually this knob. So this knob's single purpose is to turn left and right to basically next song and previous song. Of course, you press this, you can do the settings on the sound and all that, but you can feel that it's all pretty forced. Yeah. And then there's another funny thing. See these lights here? There are no buttons around it, so you thought, wow, very high tech, like Audi A4 touch sensitive buttons. In fact, a lot of people went and tried and push it because they couldn't find the on-off switch for the lights. They're over here, left and right. Yeah, it's quite a joke, alright? And if you see these numbers with the ABC behind, yes, it came from an era where people still remember phone numbers and you actually press buttons to type them, type out the number, or imagine sending SMS. Alright, or finding address details and all that with these buttons. Oh, you want to kill yourself. As for the HVAC controls, they're very straightforward. Press this button to toggle in-car circulation or recirculation, and then this one, the volume of air, and then where you want to blow the air, very straightforward. And then this one is for the temperature. Press it to activate auto, alright, maximum and all that. And this one is also another very confusing thing because this screen does nothing to the car apart from serving as a navigation screen. That means adjusting your radio, basically this is not an infotainment. It is strictly your GPS screen. It is your Garmin equivalent that flips out, and that's it. Everything else that you're trying to fiddle with the car is displayed here. Yes. Alright. Adding your phone, blah blah, everything is using this little pixelated monochromatic screen. Alright. And yeah. So down here, the button to push up and down, left or right, this knob only does to you only use it in the navigation, right? Other than that, very little things require you to move up and down. As for here, there are 4 buttons, alright? Traction control off, the fog lamps, sport suspension, and sport. So why do they differentiate this? So basically, I don't need to firm up my suspension, but I can firm up my engine, my brake, my exhaust, my shift points, which is what people want, right? A lot of people wanted the car to react faster, but they don't want the harsh ride quality. And I think Aston's people in Aston, they got it from the early onset. All right, this is the electronic parking brake. Now, using the same platform, Aston Martin has built the Rapide, the DB9, the Vanquish, And was it Advantage as well? Yes. And only the Rapide gets electronic parking brake. Maybe because they figured it is a 4-seater family car. Okay? And another funny bit, this whole panel have things that has nothing to do with this, apart from these indicators. So this is a very funny thing. Alright? You see when I push this, it's heater, it's hot, right, on my seat. If I go to the left, it turns it off. But if I go left again, aha, now it becomes a cooling seat, an air conditioning seat. Alright, so how do I control this? Aha, you press this button to switch from left to right, and then you heat up the seat or cool up the seat. Pretty cool, but well, they could have had a button here that lets you toggle red, 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 blue, 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 red, 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 blue, 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 right? But they did a very beautiful knob just to do one thing. This is for me to open the boot, to activate the parking sensors, activate the rear aircon vents, and unlock my doors. So these are all the buttons for the front passenger. Alright, there's one more button over here to open the glove box. There is also one more button down here which is finished in this material, and this lining, this glass button all the way down there to open the fuel cap. Let me show you. You see that? Yeah. So it's hidden all the way down there, but it's finished in glass. Alright, now open here. You may see this looks huge, and you'll be like, wow, there must be a lot of storage space. Nope. All you have is just here, enough for you to put your wallet or your... Yeah, I put a cable that is too long for this car. There is a USB slot here which I can use, and then some proprietary port which I'm not sure, and then an auxiliary jack. Why I didn't use the USB straight? Because it's not a high powered, it's not a fast charging USB port. Whereas if I use the 12 volt with this fast charging one, I get fast charging. Now, this thing is a piece of magnet. Oh, sorry, the magnets are over here. These magnets actually lodge this car, this lid over here, like this, right? A very satisfying click. Is it some neodymium magnet or what? But it's so solid, and the movement of this is so solid. Ferrari interior panels can only dreamed of. Alright, so solid. Ferrari ones will be wobbling. Why? Because look at this hinge. This ginormous hinge for this relatively small lid is actually finished in one piece of solid polished metal. Yeah, they took the effort to even polish it. Now at the back here, this is some high quality shit as well. I think it's plastic, but it's a very tough, very dense, very tough plastic. Okay, doesn't feel metal, but it's so tough. And here you have a strap for you to put cards. This strap is finished in leather, and the inside here, where you don't even see, you can put your fingers all the way in and feel it. The entire interior here is finished in high quality leather. Even the sides are leather. All these are leather. All these are leather. You can't touch plastics here. Alright, there are no interior panels that are made of plastic. All these are leather. Everywhere you touch, you run your fingers, they are leather. Even the whole roof is not Alcantara, remember? Alcantara, yes, is an expensive material, but is a cheaper option to pretend to be suede or suede. Suede is a type of leather which is more expensive than Alcantara, and this is suede. This is not Alcantara. And why so many racing cars use Alcantara? Because they realize in their quest to pretend to be suede, they realize Alcantara is a lot lighter than leather. You know how heavy leather is, right? Okay, so all this is finished in suede. This is it has got to be one of the world's tiniest sun visor. Okay, and you get this little lid here that opens up to the mirror. Even this lid is finished in suede. Suede, polished metal, real polished metal over here. And the hinges. This thing is hidden all the way here. It's a one-piece milled aluminium hinge. See that? Metal inside with a screw. So everything that Aston Martin builds are very straightforward, okay? Metal go in, screw tight, done. Yeah, they don't manufacture those special plastic brackets for your car here and there, save weight, but they'll break and then they get to sell it to you. No, they are very traditional. Oh, I need a hinge here. All right, let's mill a piece of aluminium out, pop, and then put a metal piece there, go in, and then screwdriver in. So these are cars that you can own for 20, 50, 70 years because they are analog. They are very, very analog. You have a milling shop, you can make parts for this car, technically speaking. Okay, even the seat belt, this thing that guides the seat belts out, this whole piece is metal, is polished aluminium again. Okay, no plastics there. Alright, so, and the seats are extremely comfortable. Okay, now one thing I really like about this color combo is that if you look at some of the other Aston Martins, right, this piano black part is actually an optional inlay or a trim. Okay, so some people, they opt for walnut wood, you know, some people opt for aluminium finish, some opt for carbon fiber and all that. But I think piano black is the prettiest. Why? Because this part, regardless what spec you choose, up here will always be black color, because this is the control panel for all this, and then this screen has a black background. So the only one that gives you a flowing look is piano black. If you opt for a light color wood or some other materials, it's gonna look two-piece and it won't look as good as this. Alright? And then the rear has the same panel as this one, but it's for the two rear seats, so they get aircon seats and heated seats as well. And then the lights buttons are over there, and there are very few buttons at the back. That's about it. There's a little glass button at the back there to fold the seats down, and that's about it. So yeah, so this is my pre-car wash interior button walk around for my car. And yeah, I love this car. I love the way it is being built. I love the way it is built. I love the way it is finished. And I want to keep this car until my son grows up and until he gets married and I give him the car or something like that, you know. Yeah, it is that kind of car that you can keep for your next generation, I guess. Okay, talk too much. Now it's about 6 p.m. The sky is getting dark. Let's wipe the car clean. Cheers. No, show you guys this. Close this one. Off. Now the last thing. So back in 2017, that was our first year of Evo Enduro. Oh no, that was the second year, 2018, where we went to Hua Hin. We came up with a campaign called Sayangi Malaysia Cool. Alright, so we wanted Malaysians to appreciate Malaysia, to drive their cars around Malaysia, go to exciting places and take pictures and then submit to us. And we worked together with Continental and we came up with this idea. This thing. So when you want everyone to go around Malaysia, to love Malaysia basically, they're gonna get back into their cars all sweat up, sweating, and they might dirty their car. So we came up with this. So we encourage you to go around. There you go. Of course, I got this. So you have to buy a set of tires to get this back then. Of course, the promo is over now. So I got this with my Continental Extreme Sport Contact. So now I'm sweating, I'm dirty. I sit on this. Alright? Cool. Cheers, guys. What an interesting encounter. See that 7 Series over there? Okay. You know, I always tell people that sometimes you don't know who you meet when you go out there and mingle with car guys, right? So I just met I came down here to get my car washed, and this neighbor who I've never met because he stays in another block, he came down, drove his 7 Series here and began washing his car as well, cleaning up his car. Then he has a whole box of car wash stuffs there. So he said he loves washing his own cars, and he never let other people wash his cars. And what's amazing is that he, I mean, this is not his only house. He has a few, and he has 20 over cars, and he never let his drivers or car wash people wash his cars. He always washes his cars himself. So he showed me all his stuff. What is this for? What is that for? You know, he bought a piece of cloth that cost 200 ringgit from Japan, that apparently can pick up the most stubborn grit on the car without scratching the car. So some very special material at the back. And we chat, and then he asked me what I do, and he told me what he does. He has basically, he can't even tell what he does, because, you know, rich people are like that. They have a lot of businesses, you know, and they do a lot of stuff. As long as it makes money. Sometimes friends ask for help, so they invest. Sometimes a company is closing down, they help buoy the company, you know. So we chat a lot, and he gave me a lot of advice. He's a few years older than me, but few hundred times more successful. And most of the time when I notice one thing, rich people, I mean, he's a real rich people, I'm a fake one, right? And they are all very, very willing to share their experiences, teach us things. They're always like that. They don't mind sharing, they don't mind teaching, you know. So I always realize, I realize this thing, people who are nice and kind, I mean, rich people, most of the time they are nice and kind, and those who are sour, you know, envy and all that, most of the time they are not successful. Pretty interesting. So so he said, oh, it's a it's a bad market situation now, and he asked me what I do. Then he said he can introduce me to a few datos that maybe you all can collaborate. You know, I'm blessed. Just a car wash, and I met a dato who has 20 over cars, who wash his own cars, who teach me how to wash cars, and even give me some guidance on doing business, on going through downturns, and interesting. See? So, yeah, that's what I mean. All these things, to me, the fact that I get to meet someone, and he told me, he actually saw me from upstairs, and he was curious with my car and the owner of this car. So he drove his car down just to park beside me, and we start chatting. So this car piqued his interest, and then he decided to come down and check out who this fella is. Maybe if this guy is a jackass, then he don't want to waste his time talking to me or what. And thank God I'm not a jackass, apparently. And we chat for almost 1.5 hours, just there, standing there, you know, after we wash our cars. And to me, what happened today, that whole experience just now, is worth way more than what I paid for my road tax or whatever maintenance this is going to come, because I get to meet a new friend that in a way is more experienced than me, knows a lot more than me, and he just said, if you meet any problems, just give me a call. We can come out for a beer or something, you know. I appreciate that. What a wonderful day. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day as well. Cheers.